is here. No, I'm not streaming.
Alright. Yep, it's going.
Is it?
Yeah.
Alright. That's good.
Alright, so we should start an introduction.
Oh, we're actually going?
Yes.
Alright.
Oh, God.
Failed to connect. It's over. See you next time, everybody.
See you next time. Woo, woo. John Coachman's out.
Yo, hello, everyone. Welcome to the first in what should be a 52-week series.
Yes.
Possibly more if we're doing the pay-per-views. I mean, we could do a SmackDown and a pay-per-view the same week.
Yeah.
Where we decide to watch one single week, watch how it progresses over a year. And we have started with the 2008 SmackDown. And I picked 08 SmackDown because that's the first year I really started watching wrestling. And SmackDown was my favorite show. And my 3 favorite wrestlers of all time are Undertaker, Edge, and Batista. And I'm pretty sure it came from SmackDown of 08.
Yeah.
So we kick off... Let me know when you get your notes up.
I got them up.
Alright, we kick off the first SmackDown of 2008, January 4th, going head-to-head with the Tokyo Show.
Yeah, live from Richmond, Virginia, the SmackDown is. The SmackDown... Well, I was giving a little bit of backdate, but you already said that, yeah, it's going head-to-head with the Tokyo Show. The Tokyo Show going on. You want to do results from that? Just to see?
We'll do it at the end.
Okay.
The show opened with a recap of SmackDown from 2 weeks ago. The SmackDown after Armageddon 2007, where Edge, with the help of the Edgeheads, Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder, beat The Undertaker and Batista to become the World Heavyweight Champion. On the following SmackDown, Batista wanted his rematch clause, but as the match started, Vicky Guerrero said, "This is a world title match, alright, but it's a 3-on-1 handicap match for the world title."
Oh, shit. Swerve, son.
And Batista said, alright, and he beat up all 3 of them, and he pinned Zack Ryder, and he won the world title. But then Vicky said, no, the only way you can win a world championship is by pinning Edge.
What she should have said at the beginning.
Well, you know. So the match restarted, and Batista beat him up again, and he was about to hit Batista with a Batista bomb, but he got hit in the back of the knee by a chair by Kurt Hawkins for the disqualification. Hawkins and Ryder hit a double concerto, and no, they hit a double execution onto a chair, and then a concerto onto Batista after. And then apparently nothing actually important happened on the following SmackDown because that was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I'm guessing Batista was probably out. They probably had him written off.
Yeah.
1 week.
The only thing I got from that highlight is they made Batista look strong as hell.
Yeah.
He won a 3-on-1 handicap match the first time, and then they couldn't beat him and got DQ'd a second time.
Yeah, I forgot that Vicky Guerrero had Teddy Long as her assistant this whole time. So the first note I really wrote down from this was Edge shows that like he's being a heel and Batista is fighting back as dominant as he can. Teddy Long is sad. Teddy
Long is sad indeed.
He looked very distraught.
He did. I mean, he was a GM, and now he's got to push this person in a fucking wheelchair. All right, the actual show opened up
with that sick-ass theme song.
Yeah, with the intro where, like, they're getting drawn into cartoons.
Yeah.
The Finlay one's terrifying.
Really, the K one's a little more scary than me.
They both are. And then the actual show opened up with, well, Vicky getting pushed out into a chair by Teddy Long.
Vicky's jerking the curtain.
She is.
And jerking Teddy.
Vicky Guerrero said if Batista or Undertaker hit Edge, they will lose their title. An opportunity to ever get a title back.
Yep, as long as Edge is champion.
But to determine number 1 contender for the Royal Rumble, it's going to be a beat the clock challenge tonight, with the competitors being Finlay, Mysterio, Batista, and The Undertaker. And then everybody else who fought him, I guess.
That's another thought of mine. If they can't lay their hands on Edge, why isn't Edge just one of the beat the clock competitors for them?
I don't know.
That seems like a really easy way to get rid of most of the competition.
But then she announced Jonathan Coachman on the newest commentator for SmackDown, because JBL had left the booth to go fight Chris Jericho on Monday Night Raw.
Oh, I actually wrote it down, because I had no idea who the fuck was coming out.
Oh, you have her exact quote?
Yes.
Alright.
After laying down those two beat the clock multiple Beat the Clock Challenge matches with Finlay, Mysterio, Batista, and Taker. She starts hyping up this new guy coming to SmackDown as a man with extraordinary credentials, a keen sense of fairness, and auditory skills par excellence. Oratory?
Speaking. Skills we don't have.
Yeah, I didn't know what the fuck she said. I was like, oratory? Is they good at eating out Vicky?
Yes.
That's what I wrote on Edge. And then she says, SmackDown's new color commentator is Jonathan Coachman.
And I was like, fuck. This is Jonathan Coachman and a Michael Cole on commentary. And honestly, I had this thought about Jonathan Coachman that I do about Josh Matthews. They're terrible announcers, but they're both enough personalities that they should be like heel managers or something. And I wrote that in my notes. He's so unlikable as a personality. He should be like a manager for somebody like MVP.
Yeah.
Which then brought us to our first match, Finlay versus MVP.
And a Beat the Clock Challenge, nonetheless.
I'm sorry, Finlay was Hornswoggle versus current United States champion MVP.
And a Beat the Clock Challenge, nonetheless.
But before the match actually started, we had a recap of Monday Night Raw with William Regal versus Hornswoggle. Vince McMahon wanted Regal to hit him with some brass knucks, but Regal couldn't bring himself to hit the little bastard with some.
And Vince said, I wouldn't want you to do that anyway. What am I, some kind of fucking sicko? You freak.
He said this was just a test. What happened to you? I didn't want you to hit him. This was a test, and you failed.
Yeah.
Because you didn't hit him. What happened to you? By the way, you failed the test by doing what I wanted you to do.
Which is not hit him?
The match... This match... I sort of wondered why I was watching this. This was a Beat the Clock Challenge match. The entire gimmick of these matches are, you gotta win as fast as possible. So these men got out there and thought, let's work holds. Let's chain wrestle. Let's show everybody that we can put on a mat classic. And it was a fine mat classic. It was boring as hell. My first notes for the first 4 minutes were they wrestled back and forth and did holds. And then eventually, it went at 1.5 minutes. It went to a commercial break. They were working holds.
Yeah.
It came back. The clock was at 5.5 minutes, which means that commercial break went 4 minutes, and Finlay was working a hold. So the entire commercial break, after 1.5 minutes of working a hold in the Beat the Clock Challenge, they were working a hold. My next note, 1 minute later, they're still working holds. At this point, I just started writing down what happened every 1.5 minutes. 7.5 minutes in, MVP's working a cravat. 8.5 minutes in, Finlay's working an armbar. MVP was a drive-by by Finlay. We finally got a move in this match.
It's MVP's finisher.
Finlay got his foot on the rope. Hornswoggle threw a shillelagh, which I had no idea how to spell, so I just wrote Shahalahali, basically. That's basically how I spelled it, because I knew what I would be talking about in my notes. MVP grabbed the shillelagh and was like,
I'm gonna use it!
And the ref was like, no.
You're not.
Swoggle threw another shillelagh in.
And Finlay said, I'm gonna use it!
And he hit MVP with the shillelagh, and he won the match, ending the first match in the try to win as quick as you can match.
At 9 minutes and 46 seconds.
Listen, I even wrote, I'm glad that the U.S. champion wasn't squashed and all.
Yeah.
But my fucking god, if you don't want to squash MVP, there's nobody else on this shit roster that you can...
Obviously there is, because they found a couple other people.
Yeah? I mean, if it sounds like I skipped everything and then just wrote down drive-by kick,
it's because I did.
No, it's because there was nothing to skip.
It's because I did.
Oh, because you did. It's because there was nothing to write. It was working holds. It's like Finlay said, I'm going to teach you how to work holds. Welcome to wrestling school, kid. And MVP was like, don't you got to win a Beat the Clock Challenge? And Finlay said, shut up, cravat.
And then after that barn burner of a match that really made like half the crowd go to sleep, Vince was able to show up because, you know, he saw his son out there. his son Hornswoggle, not Finley or MVP, sadly.
Yes.
But his son Hornswoggle, and he said, "Son, I love you," and he gave him some tough love. He was like,
well, they didn't give him a tough love. He gave him a hug.
"No, yeah,"
and then a high five, and then he took off Hornswoggle's hat, went outside the ring, and threw it back at him.
That's tough love.
So basically, at the end of this match, Jonathan Coachman said, "I feel like the other men in this series aren't gonna have a hard time being the challenge," and those men being Taker, Batista, and Mysterio.
Yeah, he's right.
He's right. So Finlay has set the record at 9.5 minutes. We get the smack of the night 3 weeks ago. Jamie Noble and Michelle McCool at a restaurant.
Smack of the night. It's the second segment on the show. The third, probably, actually.
Yeah? Well, Jamie Noble loves magic. It's how do you impress a woman?
Oh my
you
fuck.
show her magic. So he tried to do that trick where you pulled a sheet out from under the plates and the plates stay there. But of course...
It's Noble. He's not going to be fucking graceful with that.
He sent the plates somewhat flying. It wasn't even that big of a mess. And he just goes, "Check, please."
Boo! That fucking segment was awful.
But that segment of a terrible segment was better than this segment of a
this
match.
Dumpster fire of a fucking tag team match.
Because our next match, we had Chuck Palumbo and Michelle McCool
versus
Kenny Dykstra and
Victoria.
An odd pairing.
An odd pairing. My first question, my first note is, what in the weird fuck?
Like, I just thought that they were going to be like a random thrown together team to fight Palumbo and McCool, but then they fucking made out on the ramp.
That's hot.
And I was like, are they a couple? Like, what is actually happening here? And then Jonathan Goldman was like, Victoria wears the pants in this relationship.
That's hot.
I completely forgot about the Kenny Dykstra-Victoria relationship. That's hot.
That is hot.
Alright.
Yeah?
This match fucking sucked.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
And I wasn't even... Okay, it sucked because of one main person. Yeah. I thought that Palumbo was actually working pretty hard tonight.
Yeah.
Palumbo hit the ropes like a fucking madman. Kenny didn't get much offense in, but he sold well.
He sold well. He was good on the ropes. He was good, like, just on the tag team, like, aspect, trying to be annoying and shit. Being a heel. Most of my notes are like, Kenny's talking a lot of shit and running back and forth down the apron, like, in front of a fucking hard cam. And my first thought was that's why Vince doesn't like him.
Victoria's always great and worked well, which leads us to...
You said great, but you didn't really get the R out, so all I heard was Victoria's gate.
She's a gatekeeper, and she should have kept this next person out of this match.
Yeah, she should have.
Because Michelle McCool.
And we get, like, I get it was like her first, this is like her first run. This is her first, like, real...
I'll say she would get better.
Oh, yeah.
She would get a lot better.
Very, very fast, too.
Not fast enough tonight.
Oh, yeah. No.
I literally took almost nothing down in this match, so I'll just read off what I got, then you can go.
Mm-hmm.
But my first note was, Palumbo started off as a fucking massive headlock takeover to Dykstra. We just sort of threw him over and tagged him on flying. Palumbo was working fucking hard tonight, and this was the first time I actually could have seen something in Palumbo as being a star. When he came out, there was like two kids in the crowd like jumping up and down. I was like, people are reacting to Chuck Palumbo? What a weird time to live in. My next note, holy fuck, Michelle McCool selling the fucking wrist lock by Victoria. She bent her own arm more than it had to be.
Yeah.
She was like running in place, moving her feet up and down, going, ah, ah, ah.
Wouldn't you?
That's how I sell, that's why I'm retired. I wasn't on SmackDown. Eventually, Michelle McCool hits a terrible belly-to-belly to Victoria, where she didn't even leave her one leg. She sort of like rotated it and looked like she could have broken it. She like picked up her one leg, but stayed on the other leg and sort of went like, and spun all the way around. Oh my fucking god.
She did a puree.
Okay, my next note was, what the fuck?
I like how we both have just what the fuck in our notes.
Yes, and then my next note is actually apparently what happened and made me say, what the fuck? Victoria tags in, so Michelle has to get in, but Michelle climbs to the top.
Oh, yeah!
And Palumbo was supposed to throw her at Victoria, but either Michelle climbed too slow, or Victoria got in too quick.
Fast, yeah.
Because Michelle was still, like, on the first rope. like the bottom rope, and Victoria was already in spot.
Yeah,
so Victoria had to stop, throw her hands out, look back and forth, run in place, be like, oh no, and then Michelle jumped without grabbing Palumbo's hands. So she just did the crossbody.
Yeah, at that point, that's where I made that Jonathan Coachman face and threw my hands up. I was done.
Michelle hit a terrible single leg drop kick, and some of you may be thinking, oh, a single leg drop kick, like that one that CM Punk can throw. No, this wasn't single leg by design. This was supposed to be both legs. Michelle
just couldn't get another leg up.
Victoria Widow Peak to win.
Yeah.
And then what happened, like, Kenny Dykstra distracted Michelle.
Do you know what the funny thing is? Before you, like, you skipped over, I think...
I mean, if you got anything else in the match, you would have
I was going to say, when Kenny and Chuck were on the aprons, Victoria's working over Michelle. Chuck gets a hot tag, a really big hot tag.
Yeah.
And that's when fucking Chuck comes in and runs wild. That's fine. That's all fine. It's really just Victoria and Michelle that fucking... Mostly it's Michelle. It's Michelle only. Victoria does nothing wrong.
Yeah.
But it's Michelle that fucks up the spots. And
like I said, I'm kind of sad now because this was the only time I could actually see something in Palumbo. And I know it's not going to go anywhere with Palumbo. Do you got anything else in the match before I move on to the aftermath of the match?
Nope, that's it.
So after the match, Victoria was pinned by the Widow Peak. Chuck Palumbo's mad. And Chuck Palumbo said, Michelle, you can't do anything. And I wrote down...
You're worthless! You're fucking stupid!
And I wrote down in this match she is 100% correct. Maybe this wasn't
can't
even
do shit!
This wasn't even in the script. This was just his honest review of the
just
match.
Shooting.
Yes. And he leaves her behind on a motorcycle.
Leaves her behind. Babe, you're getting your own ride tonight. You
and Undertaker's in the back
me.
Undertaker's in the back like, so I hear you like men with motorcycles.
That's stupid of you, Taker. Why would you do that?
Backstage.
It comes to Vicky. Is it Vicky?
Yeah, Teddy Long got Vicky Guerrero's coffee wrong.
Yeah. Backstage, we cut to Vicky Guerrero shit-talking Teddy Long about her coffee's dog shit and how she wants more creamer. My first note is, bitch, you got a neck brace on. How are you drinking coffee anyway?
I mean, you still gotta drink with a neck. You don't just stop eating and drinking.
It burns. It goes down your neck. How do you drink coffee with a neck brace on?
What does a neck brace have to do? It's gonna be hot with or without the neck brace.
Is it?
Yes. So, Teddy sadly gets more coffee. He's more like the Michael Cole face in that picture as Coachman, and Vicky's like Coachman. Chavo walks in. Everyone's least favorite Guerrero, even behind Rey Mysterio.
It says, you sleeping with Eddie is...
Edge.
Oh, yeah. You sleeping with Eddie is fine. You sleeping with...
not in a way. That would be like necrophilia or something.
Oh, you got a point there. But you sleeping with Edge is tearing the Guerrero family apart.
Okay. Hold on. I know Vicky's a heel, and I know the wrestling community loves Eddie. But what a selfish thing of the Guerrero family to do. She can never remarry when she's young because her husband unfortunately passed away. That's very
she should be making love to that dead body right now like we said.
That's very selfish by Gory and Hector Guerrero to the
Gory's also dead. Make love to his body too.
Vicky says, Chavo, do you want him to beat the clock?
Yeah, the fucking mic cuts out. I'm not sure if she said any more than that, but I think she just goes, you're only saying this because you want to be in the beat the clock challenge.
I think she was like, I don't get why you're upset. No, she's like, you're not upset because of Edge. You're upset because you're not in the beat the clock. She said something like that. The miking was bad.
Yeah, and which I guess she could be making a point. Maybe Chavo was saying this to get some kind of rile out of her to be in the beat the clock challenge. But at the same point, shouldn't he be more concerned for his family? Is he just saying this to just say this?
I mean, he didn't say yes or no, but he said, do you know what I want, Vicky? It's to turn back the clocks. To get
beat the clock and to turn it back.
To get something we can't have. Which led us to Chavo Guerrero and beat the clock.
Yeah!
He never said if he wanted to be in or out, but he's just in.
He just wants to turn back the hands of time.
What?
I just realized what I said when I said turn back the hands of time.
Oh my god. So they needed... Chavo was like a last-minute ad, so they needed a last-minute opponent. And they found, who do you need on SmackDown when you need a last-minute opponent?
run down that ring of announcers, run down that row, find Funaki, bring his ass over here and tell him he's fighting.
You get SmackDown's #1 commentator, Funaki. I did not write a lot about this match. I wrote, at the beginning, I liked this match more because Chavo would go for pins every 4 seconds, unlike
5
Finlay,
seconds.
who was like, let me work a hold for 2.5 minutes.
Why do they have to get the fucking oldest fucking referee for this match of 2 cruiserweights trying to exchange pins? I felt bad for the referee by like the 2nd, 3rd, 4th minute, because like Chavo's going for pin cover after cover, and the ref's gotta get down and count every time.
Yeah. I didn't even really notice the ref.
There's a 3rd man always in the ring.
I noticed that they were working hard, but at some points they were going too quick for each other.
Yeah.
And they were like blowing some spots and like messing stuff up.
They're getting blown up.
And I noticed that they worked hard, but I wrote Chavo and Funaki hitting moves to a dead crowd.
Yeah.
The crowd did not care. The crowd like sort of was like, yay, Funaki when he came out, but they didn't care about his match, and it's Chavo Guerrero. You can't really care about Chavo Guerrero. I wrote Chavo hit a tilt-a-whirl slam.
Yeah.
I'm used to a backbreaker, but he just dropped him to the ground, so I felt like that was worthy of taking a note. Funaki hits a crossbody for 2. Chavo hits a gory bomb to set the new time of 6:02. And I didn't write a lot down because it's for a 6-minute match, it's a very missable 6 minutes.
Yeah.
They tried to work a faster, more logical pace for this gimmick, which in fact they did. Like, it made more sense than the Finlay one because they were trying to win a lot in the match, but the crowd wasn't feeling it.
No.
I wasn't feeling it.
No.
And at this point, after...
Is that when... I was going to say, after that match...
I was just going to say my feeling. After that opening beat the clock, that mixed tag, and now this match, I was considering, have I just been nostalgic about this era of SmackDown?
Yes.
This has been pretty bad. But then, Beat the Clock 4 happened. Well, match number 4.
Match number 4 happens. What I got right here after that match was, we got a cut to fucking Dave Batista.
And then
in the fucking crowd. I wrote, the fucking Batista shows up. People started losing their shit.
They did.
The crowd got...
Finally a star on the show.
The crowd fucking lost it when Batista showed up. They were ready to fucking shoot their own crowd members. They were ready to kill.
And that's when I decided, no, I have not been nostalgic about this era. This
is the best
looking
era.
at Batista.
This is the best era.
So, which brings us to Beat the Clock.
Number 4.
Batista comes out. A woman had a sign that said Batista.
Batista baby. She looked like she was 40.
Batista. Kids are jumping up and down.
Batista shows up. People lose their shit. The pyro's going crazy.
And I was like, I'm not nostalgic. This is what I love. This. What the fuck are my other notes?
It's funny you say that, because I literally have one note after the pyro going crazy. Tony's in the back smacking his face on the keyboard. Tony Khan apparently is running the pyro still.
Alright, so Batista's in a ring, and out comes Kurt Hawkins.
Stop knocking on the door!
And he gets in the ring, and Batista's smiling like, this is gonna be fucking easy. And then Vicky on the stage goes, Teddy's got something to say.
Teddy, say it, you pussy!
Teddy says something stupid, and Teddy said, by orders of Vicky.
Zack Ryder's out there.
And yes, and it became a 2-on-1 handicap match, a tornado 2-on-1 handicap.
Which Michael Cole mentioned to say, they're not even tagging in and out. What the fuck?
They weren't. He used those exact words.
Why are you not tagging out? I fucking hate you, Michael Cole.
So the match starts off as Batista running wide on both bitches, and he's beating their ass. And he's going to go for a Batista bomb onto Zack Ryder. But then Kurt Hawkins breaks it up. I feel like I'm missing half my notes.
Yeah. I was about to say, I'm like, that's the finish, bro.
Well, no, he tried to go for the Batista bomb earlier.
Oh, yeah.
And he got... And the numbers... But they broke it up, and the numbers game caught up to him. Hawkins and Ryder worked over Batista for a good amount in this match.
Yeah.
Which I was like, boo, this fucking sucks. Okay, here it is. He goes for a Batista bomb and Hawkins on Ryder. on Hawkins and Ryder at the same time. Ryder breaks it up and they hit a high-low on Batista, which is when they take over. Ryder hits a nice drop kick and Hawkins kicks Batista out of the ring. Batista tried to get in the ring, but Hawkins held his feet, so Batista was like sort of leaning into the ropes through the top of middle rope, and Ryder hit a leg drop on the middle rope for 2. They did a knee drop frog splash combo, and not a top rope combo. Like he just did a Big E splash for a 2. This was going so fine until their first attempt at the double execution.
Oh yeah.
Which
I don't know if they did like a fucking layout like the Christian DDT, like they laid out face first.
They immediately repeated this. So the second attempt at the spot, Batista back body drops both of them.
Yeah.
The first attempt at the spot, Batista like jumps up with them for some reason.
Yeah.
And they all fall down. And I don't know what the fuck.
It was a triple down.
I thought they were actually supposed to hit the move, and it just looked bad.
Yeah.
But then they repeat a spot right away, and Batista back body dropped them, so I don't know why Dave jumped up the first time.
He was like, yo, we're doing this move.
Batista after that hits a double spear. He goes for a Batista bomb to Ryder with 10 seconds left, but Hawkins holds on to Ryder's feet, and the clock runs out.
So he loses.
Well, that ends in a draw.
That literally my notes are: Batista show up, people lose their shit, the pyro goes crazy, Tony's in the back smacking his face on the keyboard, so he loses. I didn't write any of the actual in reaction. I just watched it for the spectacle. It was a tornado tag team handicap match.
So that means it was alright. The crowd loved Batista. Outside of that weird fucking double execution spot. I mean, it makes sense that Batista would sort of get screwed over for what happens later in the main event.
Yeah.
Hope that's hot. Because now we get the Raw rebound. Where Vince made Triple H versus Ric Flair. This was during the Ric Flair career on the line in every match.
Cool.
If Ric Flair loses, he's retired. If Hunter loses, he's out of the Rumble. From highlight form, this match looked awesome.
Yeah.
Including Flair hitting a top rope spot. Flair's got Hunter in the pedigree for a while. Hunter's able to get the ropes. But Flair... No, he's got him in a figure four, not for the pedigree.
Yeah.
Hunter's able to get the ropes. When Hunter gets back up, he hits the pedigree on Flair, but his legs are in so much pain he can't stand up or even move to make the pinfall. But during that time of selling, Regal hits Flair with some brass knucks. So Flair wins by DQ, he's still in the company, but Hunter's out of the Rumble. Bum, bum, bum. Now, thank you. I hope that caught up too, Adam Mike.
Me too. So after... Wait, is this after... No, that's definitely caught. So this is after the Raw rewind. We got MVP backstage talking to someone on his phone.
Yep.
I said someone in the Hurt Business. Probably Shelton, because why not?
Because he's probably on the same reign.
That's true. Says his plan is to retire Ric Flair. Good luck with that.
Yeah, he said, I'm better than Hunter. I'm going to do what he can't. I'm going to retire Rick. And I was like, imagine how different history would have been if Ric Flair's lost match would have been at the 08 Rumble to MVP instead of WrestleMania to Shawn Michaels.
That's awesome.
I'm sorry. I love you, Overdrive.
Cole then tells us that we have a backstage interview ready and time to go to Rey Mysterio, who I wrote Rey Mysterio as being a freak because he's just fucking standing there idly doing this weird animation like it's Here Comes the Pain. Like he's just standing there backstage on a loop or something, moving a little bit.
Yeah, this was like a generic Rey Mysterio promo, but it wasn't really a good promo.
No!
He was like, I'm not the biggest man, but this is a tournament about being quick. And I'm quick, so I may be able to do this. And I was like, you go, Ray. You know what? You got my vote.
Boom. Throwing hands like Coachman.
But which brings us out to Deuce and Domino with Cherry. I'm sorry, Sim Snuka and L.A. Knight with Cherry
versus Shannon Moore and Jimmy Wang Yang.
As we learned, the Redneck and the Reject.
So, I can tell. I'm gonna start off first because I'm pretty sure you got more notes than me.
All right.
Because there's actually a story about this now. So I originally was about to start falling asleep when I was doing this review. If you can tell, I haven't been the one talking the most. It's been Andrew.
That's like most of our reviews.
Yeah. But then I heard Jimmy Wang Yang. I heard his theme song. And then I heard Shannon Moore's name. And that combination caused me to do a lot of weird things at one time. Of wake up, start choking, and start ready. I was ready to die. I heard Jimmy Wang Yang and Shannon Moore were teaming up.
And then it just sort of all come to an end there.
Yeah.
I mean, is that, honestly, looking at where we are now in 2021, is that weirder of a team to look back at than Jimmy Snuka's son and Eli Drake?
You got a good point.
I mean, sure, looking at it with 8 eyes, that makes sense, because that was a team back then. But looking where everybody ended up now, it's the son
weird.
of a murderer who couldn't catch The Undertaker and L.A. Knight versus a freak and a guy who drives a party bus in Cincinnati.
Oh, wait. Which one's a freak? Oh, yeah.
So, they mentioned that 3 weeks ago, the Redneck and the Reject beat John Morrison and The Miz. And next week on ECW, they will face them for the tag titles in a 15 minutes of fame match, which is just an Iron Man match. They start working over Wang Yang. It's just like basic WWE working them over.
Yeah.
Except Wang Yang does this like insane counter to a hip toss where he holds on to like Domino's arm and like turns himself inside out. It's like how Seth Rollins counters the alley-oop spot.
Yeah.
But he was doing it while holding on to like Domino's arm while getting hip tossed. And then he hits a big martial arts kick to the back. They continue to work over Jimmy Wang Yang though for a long time. Not a long time, it wasn't a long match. But for most of the match, Jimmy Wang Yang went for a tag. Domino hit Shannon Moore before he could get the tag. Jimmy Wang Yang went for a tag again. Domino went to hit Shannon Moore, but Shannon Moore learned.
Yeah, he got out of the way.
He jumped off the apron, and
Jimmy got him with a fucking hurt. He got Domino, who I'm pretty sure he's introduced to Domino.
I don't know. I wrote Domino and Deuce interchangeably here.
Yeah, and he hit him with a Hurricane Rana to go for the hot tag to Shannon, and gets the hot tag to Shannon. Shannon then hits a springboard back elbow. Shannon back elbows for a springboard. Why did I word it like that? And Domino runs into shit can Jimmy Wang Yang, and Deuce and Domino try a suplex crossbody combo into Shannon Moore, where Shannon Moore avoids the suplex crossbody and rolls up Deuce and Domino for the win.
Yeah, Shannon Moore actually had a pretty good.
Fucking remember that.
He had a pretty good hot tag actually.
Yeah.
Shannon Moore did a lot of.
He got a finish off of his hot tag.
Yeah, he did like cool drop kicks. He did a beauty shot. He had a nice middle row cross body.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do.
And then, the Redneck and the Reject beat Deuce and Domino going into their tag title shot. Sadly, they don't win it. Boo.
Sadly, it's been 30 minutes already recorded. Goddamn.
Well, don't worry, because we're at our next match, the Beat the Clock Challenge.
Woo!
Beat
the Clock number 3, baby!
The Undertaker 4. Because I'm Finlay, Chavo, Batista.
Oh, yeah.
Undertaker comes out.
That's right, they did add Chavo randomly.
This is the most hyped the crowd has been since Batista. Because it's the Undertaker. And Undertaker's in the ring, and they're like, well, who is his opponent's going to be? And you hear Matt Striker's music.
Oh, yeah. And Matt Striker comes out looking sexy with those blue eyes, and he's got a fucking nice-ass referee shirt on.
He does. If Jordan's referee shirt didn't give it away, he said, listen here, I ain't the ref. I am the ref. Because I ain't the
What?
He said, I'm not wrestling. I'm the referee. And here's your opponent, Mark Henry. And I was like, oh god, Mark Henry, what an intimidating match. And then they showed 3 weeks ago on SmackDown, Undertaker beat Mark Henry and Big Daddy V in a 2-on-1 handicap match. So I was like, well, this is a lot less intimidating than I thought it was a second ago. He's fighting the same man that he beat 3 weeks ago with another man helping this guy.
Yeah.
Wow, so scared. But this was not a long match. Because, they had to work it in that time given. The 6:02 that Chavo set.
Oh, yeah.
But Taker punched Mark Henry. Oh, yeah, this was fucking weird. Mark Henry was in the corner, and Undertaker punched him, and they both sold it. Like, Mark Henry sold it, and Undertaker goes, and holds his face and bends over. I'm like, Well, what the fuck happened? Was Mark supposed to counter because he sold it too? Did you punch so hard that like you swung and hit yourself?
Yes.
Henry is thrown into the steps outside, and the top steps explode. They go flying up into the air when Mark Henry hits them. Undertaker beats up Mark Henry for a while on the outside in clothing.
I'm sorry for cutting you off. There's something I was reading through my notes because I know I'm like there's something I want to talk about a little bit. It kind of falls into the same line we were talking about before we started the stream about Edge being.
Well, hold on.
Edge being on the show because he's world champion. Boom. That's all you're getting from me for right now. I fucking played him. But Matt Striker being the referee for this match. Don't you think he's just being a little too forgiving to the Undertaker?
No, I was gonna say he's a very fair referee.
Yes, for having Mark Henry in his corner, for having Big Daddy V in his corner, and then both of them already losing to the Undertaker. Matt Striker's being very much a fair no bias ref so far.
All right, hold on. That does remind me because I forgot to mention this. In that after Taker beat them in the handicap match, they attacked Taker after. And they attacked Taker, that's what I guess was their tag team finisher, the double torture rack, where they each had like an arm and a leg. They were standing back to back.
That's awesome.
Holding Taker up in the double torture
rack.
I
didn't notice that, but now we should do that.
We should have. It would have been a lot less impressive.
Yeah.
So yeah, I also noticed that Matt Striker. Well, I guess because Matt was luring the Undertaker in for what the finish would be.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
But, so yeah, they get back in the ring, and Undertaker goes for an old school, and Mark Henry catches him in a bear hug.
Yeah. Taker goes old school and catches that old dead fuck in the bear hug. 30 seconds left. What?
Mark Henry eye strips Undertaker. Undertaker ducks, hit Mark's with a chokeslam, which Mark went up pretty high for.
Yeah.
That was an impressive chokeslam. And Undertaker's going for the pin, and Matt's
there's like 6 seconds left. 1, 2, and Matt fucking holds that too right when the clock strikes like 0. And fucking Taker, who thinks he won, for like a split second realizes he didn't win.
I will admit, I did love his like slow turn to Matt Striker.
Yeah, when he realizes that Matt didn't finish the count, and he's like, wait a fucking minute.
And he's like looking off into the distance, and then he turns his head to Matt Striker, and Matt Striker just looking up at him.
And that fucking runs out of there like a little pussy. Yeah, Taker goes for the very chokeslam at the end. At the very last second, Matt Striker gives the double fingers. That's what I wrote. Matt Striker gives the double fingers, and the crowd goes, "You are an asshole." Beautiful.
I do have to write that. I did write that what Michael Cole said. He said, "Beat the clock should be renamed to Beat the Croc."
Yeah, I was like, wait, did he just say beat the clock twice?
No, Beat the Croc. Like it's a crock of shit.
Oh, like beat the cock? Like
so,
that's what Matt Striker
Undertaker
does?
beat up Mark Henry after, but he goes like he's gonna hit Mark with a tombstone, which he's done before, and like Mark went up for the choke slam tonight, so I was like, all right, he's gonna take the tombstone, but Undertaker just body slams him and leg drops him. Their version
I'm not giving it to him.
It's like their version of WrestleMania, brother. We're then backstage
with Matt Striker.
Well, it was Leah Yada and Matt Striker.
I was gonna say who?
I don't know, Leia Yada. That's what they said.
Mia Yim?
And Lady Striker. Matt Striker said, Undertaker, if you ever try to touch me again, I'll beat the fuck out of you. But if I won't do it, so will Big Daddy V. And Big Daddy V was there and did his taunt.
Matt Striker gives a rundown about how Taker can't count. And then he says how Big Daddy V's tits are gonna slap Taker in his dead man mouth.
Hell yeah.
That's what I wrote.
There was a rundown of the Rumble card, and then we come to our main event of the evening.
Rey Mysterio is the last person to take on the Beat the Clock
challenge.
challenge.
Still held by Chavo Guerrero.
It's 6:02. Time to beat 6:02. Ladies and gentlemen, the time. Okay, I don't know I'm telling you all that. Rey Mysterio is the last person to take on the Beat the Clock challenge, but since that makes it the main event, it just makes sense. He's got to go against the Rated R Superstar, Edge.
Yep, Edge is a man who will fight Rey Mysterio in the main event to try to keep to try to keep Chavo Guerrero as his opponent for the Rumble.
Which makes me go, well, if Edge is champ, couldn't he just fought whoever he wanted to? Couldn't he just fought in Chavo in the Beat the Clock Challenge and just laid down for Chavo. Like,
well, that would involve Chavo beating him, and he's too egotistical, even if it wouldn't help him in the long run to lose to Chavo Guerrero tonight. Because, okay, you're the world...
He's the ultimate opportunist. Okay, I don't believe he's that egotistical to pass up an easy win to not only have Chavo go on to fight him and get an easy title match at the Rumble.
Yeah, but that's still a loss on your record to Chavo Guerrero.
Oh, it's a loss to Chavo Guerrero worse than a loss to Rey Mysterio?
Yes, it's a lot worse. So, the match is Edge versus Rey Mysterio. Edge has Hawkins and Ryder in his corner.
Yep.
And Edge is stalling for a long time.
Very long. A lot of heel tactics, a lot of chicken shitness, ducking in and out of the ring, getting the ropes between them, trying to get the ref to give some help.
Yes, Edge would hide in between the ropes, and then he would go outside, and then when the ref would count, Edge would go back in, but before he could,
he runs back inside the ring. I'm sorry for cutting you off. And Rey Mysterio, just out of nowhere, hits a West Coast pop on the Edge. I wrote that down.
Yeah, no, I hit that too. Rey, where is it? Where do I got it? He hits a Hurricane Rana drop kick and then a West Coast pop.
Yeah.
He was like, okay, you want to act like we're going to make this a long match. I'm going to make this a quick match. Finisher. Edge able to get his foot on the rope, though. Let's see what else happened. Hawkins and Ryder try to get involved, but Batista runs out.
No. This is when Batista charges through Kurt Hawkins, and Kurt Hawkins goes, ooh, safe.
Batista runs out, and he spine busters Kurt Hawkins onto the apron, and Kurt Hawkins sells it by looking offended. His back is stretched out, and his arms are to the side, and he's looking all hurt. And Batista beats them up, throws them over the barricade, and Edge is well, fuck me in my hole. I've lost my two buddies. And then he's well, how can this get any worse? And then all of a sudden, Undertaker's on stage. And Undertaker's it's not dark now, but now it is.
And then the lights go out, and it's all dark.
And when the lights come back on, well, you see Batista attacked Hawkins and Ryder, because that wasn't Edge. But the lights were out, and nobody saw it, so Vicky couldn't prove that he hit Edge.
Yeah.
And when the lights came back on...
Edge is dead.
Well, he's perfectly set up for the 619.
He's dead like El Perro del Agua.
Which Rey Mysterio hits...
Oh, of course it was Rey Mysterio. Fucking still involved with this shit.
Rey Mysterio hits it, the 619, and wins.
He drops the dime.
With a minute and 29 seconds left, which means at the Royal Rumble, it will be Edge versus Rey Mysterio for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Woo!
Overall, not a great SmackDown.
Yeah. It was a drag.
That was a bad SmackDown to get through.
And it made me start questioning if this was a smart idea.
But hey, you felt hyped when Batista came out.
Because the crowd was hyped.
Well, okay.
We were literally 120 miles away from Washington, D.C., which is hometown.
Well, they're going to be hyped for him every week.
That's true.
I mean, not every week's going to be good. This week really probably wasn't good. But it was a show. Not a great show. But that was our first SmackDown of 2008. Michael Cole said, what a way to start this year. And I said, what a way indeed.
And as we were saying, what a way to start this year, a little company on the other side of the world is going to start their second Wrestle Kingdom show.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, this was...
so this is what you could have watched instead of Deuce and Nomino versus a Redneck and a Reject.
I would prefer this, probably. Let me just see the card. Oh, boy. I just saw fucking Kurt Angle's face. I'm terrified. Number one, in the first match to kick off the Wrestle Kingdom show, we have Team TNA is what I'm going to call them. AJ Styles, Christian Cage, and Petey Williams defeated Rise, Milano Collection, AT, Minoru, and Prince Devitt. Ooh.
Oh boy.
10 minutes, 25. It went 10 minutes and 25 seconds, and a 6-minute tag. Then for the second match, you have Wataru Inoue versus. He defeated Christopher Daniels for the IWGP to retain the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. Another 10-minute, 17-second match. Third match, Jesus, this is just TNA the fucking Wrestle Kingdom.
Hell yeah.
I might need to review this. Manabu Nakanishi defeated Abyss in a 6-minute match.
Oh boy.
The fourth match on the card was Katsushi Takamura, Masato Tanaka, and Tatsuhito Takawai, and Yutaka Yoshi defeated Koji Kanemoto, Ryusuke Taguchi, Takashi Izukiya, and Tiger Mask.
Right. If we had fans, they'd be so mad at this pronunciation.
Yeah. 8-man in an 8-man tag team match that went 8 minutes and 36 seconds. Oh yeah, well what about this pronunciation? Team 3D, Brother Devon and Bubba Ray. I like how I called one brother and the other one Bubba.
Yes.
Defeated GBH, the team of Togi Makabe and Toriano, with Damn it, I got those first names because I knew who they were. With Tomohiro Ishii and Tomoaki Hanma. That's what it is. A hardcore match. Then we had another 10-man tag team match.
Why? You know what? Maybe SmackDown
was a better show.
I mean, it wasn't, but... With
the legend team of Akira, Jushin Thunder Liger, Masahiro Chono, Riki Choshu, and Tatsumi Fujinami, a name I can fucking say!
How did you fuck up that name?
Cause I have to deal with... They defeated VBH, Brother Yashi, Gato, Jado, Shuji Kondo, and Taru. Those are all one-syllable names. 2 syllables.
How much longer is on this card?
We're at match 7. The Great Muta defeated Hiroki Goto, Giant Bernard, that's
Albert.
Yeah, and Travis Tomko.
That's Tomko.
Defeated the Steiner Brothers.
That's the Steiner Brothers. That sounds like the match I gotta watch.
Yeah, for the IWGP Tag Team Championship. Match 9. This was for the fucking what's the IWGP Third Belt Championship?
I don't know.
Well, it doesn't matter because Kurt Angle beat Yuji Nagata for it. And in the main event, Shinsuke Nakamura defeated Hiroshi Tanahashi for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship in a 23-minute match.
God damn.
Not gonna lie, some of these matches do sound really fucking good.
They do. Now, I'm glad you did that because also ending each one, I'll be doing this week on, where I'll let you, I don't watch the matches, but I'll let you know what happened on SmackDown, ECW, and
we just reviewed SmackDown.
On Raw, ECW. Well, I mean, we let them know what happened on SmackDown. I wasn't wrong. On Raw, ECW, I almost said SmackDown again, and TNA the same week of this SmackDown.
TNA, they were in WCPW. WCPW, New Japan Pro Wrestling, NJPW.
Well, TNA, Mr. Kennedy beat Shawn. I mean TNA. Raw, Mr. Kennedy beat Shawn Michaels in 14 and a half minutes.
You hear that shit, Shawn?
Umaga beat Jim Duggan in a Royal Rumble.
You hear shit, Umaga?
Royal Rumble qualifying match.
What the hell?
Beth Phoenix retained the women's title against Melina and Mickie James. William Regal and Hornswoggle went to a no contest.
Oh, shit.
Jeff Hardy and Santino Morello went to a no contest.
What?
Ric Flair beat Triple H by disqualification.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
So, 2 of the last 3 matches had, well, I guess the DQ was a finish. But Regal versus Swoggle and Jeff Hardy versus Santino had no finish. On ECW, Jimmy Wang Yang, Shannon Moore, and Kelly Kelly.
What the fuck?
Beat The Miz, John Morrison, and Layla. Big... That wasn't right. Big Daddy V beat Colin Delaney.
Oh my god.
Shelton Benjamin beat some guy named James Curtis, who I looked up was not Johnny Curtis. I thought it would be. And then the main event, CM Punk beat Chavo Guerrero by countout. And on TNA, the Motor City Machine Guns beat Team 3D, LAX, the Rock and Rave Connection, and VKM in a number 1 contender tag team gauntlet match. ODB beat Angelina Love, Awesome Colin, Chrissy Hemme, Jackie Moore, Miss Brooks, Roxy Love, and Velvet Sky in a number 1 contenders gauntlet match for the knockout title. P.D. Williams beat Elix Skipper, Johnny Devine, Senshi, Sharkboy, Sanjay Dutt in the number one contenders X Division Gauntlet match.
Oh my god.
And in the main event, Christian Cage beat Abyss, Black Reign, Booker T, Chris Harris, Eric Young, James Storm, Judas Messiah, Frankie Kazarian, Kevin Nash, Relic, Robert Roode, Samoa Joe, and Scott Steiner.
What the fuck is this
in a
gauntlet match?
Number one contender world title gauntlet match. And that was this week of 2008. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back next week with SmackDown. End it. It's like been 49 minutes.
Oh my fucking god. This was dog shit.
I liked it. It made me